I'm Nito the GTG and welcome to Raging T, and I'm back after a few months of procrastination, feeling awful about myself, and decided to return because I miss doing reviews and videos on the YouTubes. I'm back, and what better way to stretch my reviewing skills with a review of one of my favorite stretchy boys. Of course, I'm talking about 2018's 6-issue miniseries Plastic Man. Let's get on with the review. I know what you're thinking right now. No, it's not why I'm still subscribed to the channels, no why I'm watching a guy sitting in his house talking about comics, but it's who is this stretchy guy and why I should care. This is Patrick Eel O'Brien, also known as Plastic Man.
He is a character created by Jack Cole, a creator that had good ideas, but unfortunately and suddenly committed suicide with little to no explanation as to why. He created Plastic Man for Quality Comics in 1941, a company that later sold many characters and trademarks to DC Comics. Some of these characters, including Plastic Man, exist even to this day. Eel was a low-life thug, a pawn. One night, while he and his boss were trying to open a safe in a chemical plant, they were spotted by the guard. Shots were fired, Eel was wounded and was doused in chemicals. The origin stories then split up a bit. In his first appearance, Eel was left behind. He tried to escape, but since he was heavily wounded, he collapsed near a monastery where a monk saved him and hid him from the police. In the 90s, they changed it a bit. They removed the monk and monastery and made Eel become a monster for a while, without him noticing, but eventually he picked the path of justice. We kinda had another one in the New 52, specifically Justice League issue 25, contained a small segment of Earth 3 with Owlman defeating some thugs in a chemical plant, leading to someone named Eel being doused in chemicals and melting away. Don't know if this was meant to be an origin for an Earth 3 Plastic Man or something like that, but he never appeared in the New 52. There were some pictures here and there, but not a character appearance. His first official appearance was in DC Metal, where he appeared as an egg, and he fully returned in the Terrifics.
My assumption is that this series serves as a new introduction for newcomers since it contains another origin. A weird thing about Plastic Man is that he's overpowered. What do I mean with that? Let me explain. He's invulnerable, he can regenerate from great attacks like him being split into atoms and was able to gather himself. He's immune to telepathic attacks. He gains some properties like strength, flight, or stuff. When he transforms, he can become huge, he can become tiny. And for weaknesses, he can change colors a bit. He did it once and slightly. And it's vulnerable to extreme heat. But other than that, he sounds really overpowered. But the beauty of Plastic Man isn't that he's overpowered, as I mentioned, but he's fun, and he tries a lot.
Before he got his powers, he was a low-life thug, being ordered around and trying to survive. After that though, he got a second chance in life and wanted to do good. Some characters know his dark past, like Batman, and they respect him for trying so hard. Plastic Man as well knows that what he wants to do is tough. In many cases, he still considers himself a simple man and wonders how he's able to be in the Justice League alongside Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman and the rest. Before the New 52, we learned that he has a son that got his powers and is better at using them, because he can change colors as well. Unfortunately, his son was hanging around some kids that were taking advantage of him, helping them steal stuff. Plastic Man learns that and asks Batman to help him put his kid back on the right path. We did get a good result from this, with this kid becoming a hero alongside Plastic Man. Then the New 52 happened and yeah.
Some may say that he cracks jokes here and there, like a defense mechanism as in the cases of Deadpool or Spider-Man. But I don't see that. I think he makes jokes all the time as a way to relax. Or he knows how powerful he is and he jokes around because he can. On with the review though.
Gail Simon, the writer of the series, manages to introduce the personality of Plastic Man quite well. He is sensitive, and once he remembers all the details of that fateful night, he has nightmares about it, being heavily affected by it. At the same time, he manages to help a little girl that prefers to be called a boy and solve a mystery including many known villains that try to frame him as a bad guy and a murderer. All those stories have a great pace, jumping from one to the other, manages to progress all the plot points together, making the reader easily understand all the crucial moments of the whole series. Unfortunately, one thing I didn't like was the build-up of Granite Janet, a character that we saw from page 1 of the miniseries, and she was shown here and there up until the final pages. And we get a sequel bait. I hope we get a sequel, because I hate when they do stuff like this and they leave plots unresolved. Thankfully, the excellent dialogues and jokes contained in this managed to make me not care that much about Janet. Plastic Man is a character that begs for visual gags, since he is able to turn into pretty much everything and anything, and we get that in spades. You see him transform into cannons, weapons, paper airplanes, a dragon to even a pony, Wonder Woman and Harley Quinn. But that doesn't mean that Plastic Man is only jokes, because in one page he may say something funny, and in the next one he'll try to understand Spado, a little girl he saved and tries to do what's best for her.
Small cut here because this needs to be said. Spado is a little girl that wants to be a boy. For people that act a bit aggressive over those things, let me explain, it's not forced. He's well written. Spado is a character that I really enjoyed in this series, and I hope to see him again next to Plastic Man growing on. Moving on with the review.
This mini-story feels like the beginning of Villa's Plastic Man, but it's not. It's the beginning of putting every piece together and proving himself to be a hero, when he just wants to find out the truth about that night. I do enjoy the fact that he's working alongside some girls from a superhero-themed strip club, and they are great. They help a lot throughout the entirety of the story, and Plastic Man needs all the help he can get because we find out that it's all a scheme from a group of villains that are using someone, not going to spoil his name here, to impersonate Plastic Man and frame him as a murderer. For people that do know Eel in his personality, it doesn't manage to create a big mystery of is he the murderer, is he not, but it's interesting to see how they manage to get closer and closer to the truth and how they manage to fight those people. Throughout this story, we have a multitude of visual gags and are allowed a success and hit their target thanks to the expert word of Adriana Melo. She managed to make Plastic Man pop whenever he's in a page and made each of his transformations look great. It's astonishing how much work some panels must contain in them. In the second issue, the first few pages show many different forms of Plastic Man and a big spread in a page that contains all kinds of visual gags. There is a pack of crime-fighting emus, characters from other series, to even Dandy Dio himself. There is a lack of backgrounds here and there, but the rest is superb. Of course, it's not just the art, but the great color selection of Kelly Fitzpatrick. She managed to make the main characters pop out, especially Plastic Man with his bright and vivid red tights and yellow stripes, while making the backgrounds look dark but not gritty and edgy in the night, and colorful and bright in the day. Finally, the covers are great, with my favorite being of course the third issue with the great Alex Roche one, and the last one from Jason Badower that is able to give you nightmares if you stare at it for a while.
All those things. A great story with many twists and turns. A great supporting cast. A lot of jokes. Nice art, amazing art, makes this a solid book in my case. It's a good introduction to Plastic Man, a character that from his older days even to this day is great, and I'll follow him to the next show, comic, everywhere he's going to be on. That was all for today. I hope you enjoyed this small episode, and I'll see you again on the next Raging G. Until then, keep reading! Yes, I do know it's been a long time since I released an episode. I hope you'll still follow me and do all those things that you need to do to support me. I hope you're going to support me, and I'm going to see you again in my next episode. Peace!